Sorry, guys. I'm on the road. I'm traveling at the minute, so I pulled over here in Tampa at a friend's house to kick this thing off. But Seth, it just occurred to me that we maxed out on the registration limits on Zoom. So those people missed today are going to be they're going to be sore at themselves tomorrow, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure. So we have something super special that's been in the works for a long time, Sean. I've been super excited to bring our special guest on and do a webinar for so long, and today's finally the day.
Yeah, you know what? I sent out a few emails, Seth, yesterday and some text message talking about this $2,500 that people are going to get today. This is legitimate. So you guys are here, but I just want to put this out there. This is just a precursor to today's event. My friend's going to explain it to you here in a moment, but this is only valid if you're currently actively selling on Amazon. You're not going to show up here. I'm not going to write you a check for $2,500, nothing like that. But legitimately, if you're selling on Amazon, you're going to find out how to get a free $2,500. And Seth, this thing is filled up here. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to unveil Yoni here in just a minute, but I can see people are still rolling in. So let's give them a few minutes, Seth.
Yep, absolutely. As soon as you get to the top of the hour, Zoom notifies everybody, and everybody's like, "Oh shoot, I got to join." So, guys, let us know if the camera's coming through, audio's coming through, if we're sounding loud and clear, and then we're going to bring Yoni on and do a little quick intro and let him tell his amazing story and how he did it.
It's a lot of fun, actually, Seth. When you and I first, well, actually, you sat down with Yoni first, and when he told you his story. I forget what event we were at, but you came up to me and you're like, "Did you hear how Yoni got this thing started?" And I said, "No, tell me." But then I was like completely blown away. So legitimately, the emails that I've been sending out to everyone, when I first heard this story, it literally blew me away. It blew my mind. So I had to hear it from the horse's mouth. So when Yoni told me the story himself, I was like, Hollywood writers couldn't write a better script, could they, Seth? So you guys are in for a treat today when Yoni unveils how he added $3 million to the bottom line of his business, and how you can too. The best part about today's call, Seth, and forgive me, like I'm a pitch guy, but the best part about today is there's absolutely nothing being sold. So hide your checkbooks, throw away your credit cards. There's nothing you can buy. It's 100% valuable content, and we'll invite you to collect this $2,500 here real shortly, Seth.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody in the chat box is saying all good, loud and clear. So Sean, we can go ahead and get this kicked off. You have a few neighboring Floridians saying hello.
Yep. So I'm in Tampa Bay for the day. I had to go visit my sinus doctor once every 6 months. So he wonders why I'm so loyal. I said, "Dude, you realize I actually flew back from South Africa to see you?" And he said, "Well, that's a new record," which is only partly true, but it made him feel good, right? So Yoni, why don't you go ahead and turn on your camera, man? Let me tell people who they're talking to. There's my brother from another mother. Yoni,
hello.
I sent out a video message with your handsome face today, and I got a lot of good feedback on that. Unfortunately, Yoni, Zoom is limiting us to 500 people. So we're going to have to do this again real soon, because your story, my friend, ever since I heard it, completely mind-blowing. I'm talking about, this story is life-changing. And the way Yoni tells it, he kind of plays it down. But in all seriousness, Yoni, what you've gone through is just truly remarkable, my friend. I just want to thank you for taking the opportunity today and for spending the time with our audience.
My pleasure. Thank you for the privilege. Great honor to be here. Thank you for setting it all up. A humble servant. Still, we're on a mission just to help people around. Thank God it took us to beautiful places, and we're still going. So I'm glad to share the story and the insights today, and hopefully it will be valuable. And yeah, definitely you'll be able to pocket some money. That's kind of a guarantee out there. We'll touch that soon. But yeah, pleasure to be here again.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yoni.
Appreciate it, guys. Pay attention, put your phones down, close the other chat boxes and the other windows, because Yoni is going to he's going to blow your mind. And if Yoni doesn't blow your mind with the story like he did mine and Seth's mind, then something's wrong with you. There's absolutely no excuse for you to go anywhere. If you're selling on Amazon, you're in the right place. So you can feel good about giving this your undivided attention. Take it away, Yoni. I can't wait.
You got it. So just share the slides and dive into the money.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. See what we got for you guys today. All right. Let me just pop this up. Present. There we go. Present or present? We'll try to do both. Try to do presents and present. Okay. So welcome everybody. Once again, my name is Yoni Mazur. I'm one of the co-founders and chief growth officer of Getira. I'm going to share with you a story today of pretty much how I added over $3 million to my bottom line on Amazon. we never saw it coming, we never expected it, but it turned out to be kind of the reality of things. So it's really it's gonna be I guess a different angle. You probably never experienced or heard anything about that in the industry. So hopefully it'll be refreshing to you as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into it. I'm just gonna, so over a decade ago, right? This is myself here, and then this is my partner till today. For over 10 years, it's Max Bourne. We started selling products online, Max and myself. My background, I was doing sales and distribution for a supplements company. Max, he was actually doing accounting for a furniture company. And on the side, we're hustling. So, back in the day, we started selling on eBay, right? And whatever you can get our hands on. And then in 2013, we started selling on Amazon. Okay, we started selling FBA, fulfilled by merchant, right? We had a little, we actually started from our houses. We used to sit and back in the day in Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts to get free Wi-Fi. And as the orders came in, we tried to do it from our living rooms or whatever we could. And we used to just fulfill the orders as they came in from the marketplace. And that was an early hustle. And then later on, we kind of realized that Amazon has its own program called FBA, right? Most of y'all are more than aware of it. But back, 10 years ago, it wasn't, much of a thing. We had to kind of discover it because it was just up and coming. So, once we realized you can outsource to Amazon and send your inventory there to FBA, we just said, let's just give it a try. So what happened was we created a shipment, and it was worth $10,000. It was $10,000 worth. So that was pretty much our life savings. Everything that we kind of saved life, we were scrappy, we were in our early 20s. So we were very worried about this money, right? We wanted to invest it into this Amazon, online business, and $10,000 was major money for us back then. I'm sure for maybe some of you or many beginners right now on Amazon have that same kind of dilemma. How much money do I need to start an Amazon business? So back in the day, we start from really close to zero, but as we made some money, we're able to kind of scrap together 10,000 and invest it into this, mysterious program called FBA. So that was kind of early beginnings there. And then, we took nothing for granted. Amazon was up and coming. We didn't really know what it was. Today has a very strong and established reputation, but that wasn't really the mindset back then. So we said to ourselves, if we're going to send them $10,000 worth of inventory, which is our life savings, like if something happens to that, we're done. We're pretty much wiped out in the early beginnings. So we wanted to know what we're getting into, right? So what does a person do? Like any other thing, you just try to call it in. So we just phone called Amazon, Seller Central. And then we asked, okay, guys, what's your policy if anything happens to our inventory? What happens if it gets lost, it gets damaged, destroyed, if it gets disappeared? What happens? What's your policy? What's going on? So they took the time. They explained to us all this policy that they have. They call it an Amazon FBA reimbursement policy. And they said, showed us on the, on the portal on Amazon Seller Central, where is it all in writing? What's the policy? What's going on? And we discovered this very early on, because we didn't just, pack up $10,000 worth of our life savings and just send it to Amazon saying, hey, today people really take it for granted. They know Amazon's hot. You can make money, you can make millions. So they just jump right into it. For us, it wasn't really the case. We were really into the details. So, so we shipped, 116 units worth about $10,000 in cost value for us. And lo and behold, Amazon only received 113 units. So right away, there was a discrepancy on the first shipment. And these 3 units were worth $600 in retail value, right? So out of the 10,000 that we kind of shipped in, that's already 6% that mentally we lost, and that our money got burned out before the game even began, before we, we had the listing out there, before we were marketing it or whatever we had to do to just sell it, right? So that was kind of a concern for us. But nevertheless, even though we were nervous, we knew that we had all the policies in writing. Amazon at least had in writing. So we opened a case with Amazon. We said, it's all in writing. They have a policy. Let's pull that thread, because we're trying to be professional here. It's a hobby turned into a professional business, right? And we provided Amazon with all the details. Of course, they took their time, they investigated and they researched, and basically they said, yeah, we lost the units. So at least they took responsibility. They acknowledged that they lost the units, and those units were missing from inbound. Missing inbound, pretty much, you pack all your stuff, you send to Amazon, and let's say, in our case, we shipped 116 units. They only received 113. So they accepted the fact that they lost it, and they put in writing, which was a good indicator back in the early days. But then they said, yeah, here's your reimbursement. And they actually paid us, the $600 for these missing units, those 3 units. So that was a really, really powerful and pivotal moment for us. Once again, today, everybody takes it for granted. Back then, we realized, okay, you know, we never really saw anybody, any human from that organization called Amazon. It's only this platform on the internet. You know, when we call them, okay, they said a few things, but you know what? They actually, they're good for the money. They added the money, the funds into Amazon Seller Central account, and we got the money. And yeah, in that moment, they paid us and we got the money. We realized, okay, these guys have everything in writing. There's visibility, there's data. The data is all there. So you can really reconcile and perform a, you know, proper reconciliation. So they're legit. Once again, this is 2013 when we realized that Amazon is kind of legit. You know, they have structure, they have transparency. Because honestly, if they wouldn't play games and not pay us or anything like that, we will not send another shipment to Amazon. And maybe we'll look even for other marketplaces. So maybe that trust early on that Amazon was able to create with all these entrepreneurs and sellers is why the reason is that they're the 900 pounds gorilla of e-commerce, that fundamental trust that third-party sellers have with Amazon, sending their life savings often, like I did, into FBA and growing from there and selling from there. That is really something that it maybe is, you know, greatly overlooked by many people. So yeah. So yeah, they took care of us and we realized we can trust the process. So we thought, all right, you know, let's scale this, because those 113 units that were probably received, they got sold like fire. You know, Amazon was like this hungry, massive digital beast that no matter how much food / inventory we feed it, it's constantly hungry. It tells you I want more. It was just unbelievable to us. And yeah, the rest is history. You know, each time we sent more inventory into FBA, which is a larger shipment. You know, the first one was 10,000, second one was 15,000, then 20,000, 40,000, all the way to shipments that in our peak, we shipped, you know, shipments are over $500,000, you know, getting close to $1 million even. So the business grew very, very quickly. Okay, so we started kind of from zero all the way to about 20 million in FBA sales. And then we became a part of a larger group that together as a group, we're doing about 100 million in Amazon FBA sales. So the operation became monstrous. Once again, based on that trust, the understanding that, A, there's demand in the marketplace, there's consumers out there, you make sales, it's all good, you build a business. But if anything happens with all the millions of dollars we're sending in inventory, they take care of us. And there's a whole process for that. That was early on with early seeds. But as the business grew, we were not really able to use spreadsheets anymore to reconcile all the amount of data that was coming in daily from the FBA transactions. You know, reconciling an account that does $500,000 or $1 million or $2 million or even 10 million a year is one thing. But when you have $100 million of FBA transactions, you got to reconcile constantly. You know, it was really a strain on Excel and all the Google Sheets. So it was too much data. The sheets were breaking, and we're pretty much forced to and pushed to create kind of two things to solve this issue, right? The first thing to solve the issue was to create technology and software so we can really audit all of our records and all the FBA transaction at scale constantly, every single day. Okay, because we're big machinery, everything has to constantly keep rumbling and jungling with nonstop. You know, the orders that we put in for inventory, the sourcing, right? The logistics, you know, sending to FBA, and then if there's any refunds, any customer support, the reconciliation of the shipments, payment to suppliers, payment to employees. The whole thing was a big machinery. So we needed to create a solution that we can really trust at scale for this element called FBA auditing and reconciliation. So the first component was technology and software, but nevertheless, maybe even equally as important, was to set up a dedicated team. Okay, because I was doing it at the early days. You know, we're scaling, so I delegate. Okay, but then the spreadsheets break. Okay, so we got to kind of solve the two things here, right? So the technology was one component. The second thing was to create a dedicated team to keep managing and tackling this issue exclusively. All they could do with their organization is just solve this issue because it was really, really at scale. Okay, so, and we also discovered this. We discovered that on an annual basis, the discrepancy rate, you know, is between 1% to 3% from our revenue. So if you do, you know, here, for example, so when you're doing like 1 million a year, FBA, you know, issues and all these discrepancies, all that inventory that gets lost in inbound, or they get destroyed inside the warehouse, or they get lost within there, all these other variety of things that we found, because sending inventory in and Amazon under receiving it is just one thing that of course we discovered early on, but later on we discovered many other things, right? That's what we need all this computing power and all this reconciliation process with spreadsheets. So when we're doing a millionaire, 1% to 3% is 10 to 30,000 that you have to kind of recover. Okay, that's manageable by, you know, yourself, a team. But when we're doing 100 million in FBA sales, 1% to 3% was already 1 to 3 million that we had to constantly recover. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month. So that gave us the push to invest in technology and a dedicated team to keep solving this issue nonstop. And we, with nothing holding us back. Because, when you sell on Amazon, everything can hold you back. The shipment, the logistics, the sourcing, the money. There's so many bullets flying at you. It's a constant balancing act. So for us, we need to know that we have an airtight solution for this situation, for this basically this discrepancy matters. So yeah. And also, by the way, a fun fact, maybe for trivia, we also discovered something that was very interesting with Amazon's reimbursement policy. We discovered that any unit that you ship to Amazon, to FBA, if you plan to sell it for over $5,000, it's not going to be covered by the FBA reimbursement policy. So if you're sending in a watch and you want to sell it for $5,000 and 1 penny, and they lost it, you get nothing back. But if you sell that watch for $4,999.99 or less, and it got lost, they cover you. So that's the threshold. Meaning you can ship units that are worth individually up to $5,000. Just food for thought on that. Most sellers don't never really get to those dimensions. But yeah, we actually learned that very early on with their policy. It's still there. So if you ever dig into their policy, you see that. And then, yeah, so after we were able to really create a solution at scale for our needs, right, for our auditing and reconciliation needs for Amazon, we are kind of friendly guys. I met Sean and Seth. We're friendly, for a while now, so it's great. But even back then, we're still friendly. So we told our friends from the industry what we learned, what's going on, and what we have built for ourselves, right? So in our capabilities. So they kind of said, you know what, help us, we'll pay you, right? And that was really the early genesis and creation of a Getira back in 2015. We had an issue at scale, we have to solve it. We shared, we connected with others, we told them about it. They said, help us, we'll pay you, right? So really that gave birth to Getira, what I really focus on today. And since then, back in 2015, Getira has grown and helped tens of thousands of FBA sellers globally, worldwide, and added millions of dollars to their bottom line, right? But maximizing their FBA reimbursements. So of course, when we're doing 100 million a year, we're recovering 1 to 3 million a year. We did it for ourselves. I told you that story. That is pretty much the evolution of that. But that turned into us helping really sellers everywhere in the world recover. We recover millions of dollars every month for our user base, for our sellers. So really, as Plateau said it, necessity is the mother of vet. We needed it. It turns out many, many others need it because they have so many bullets flying at them, so many things to do. They had that challenge and they needed a solution. And what's interesting with our solution, if some of you are not aware, it's free to join. The model is based on success. We don't charge any fees or subscription. Only if we get money or refunds back from Amazon, only then we recover a fee. And that's kind of the model that our friends kind of discussed with us. And that's kind of the baseline we created back in 2015. So really, by solving our challenges on Amazon, we're able to really help the sellers worldwide, like I mentioned, and grow our unique organization and family. Okay, and it keeps on growing in its own way. This is just a snapshot of some of the Getira team. Today we have actually 180 plus team members in 8 countries. We actually ranked 215 the Inc. 5000, the fastest growing companies in the United States. Once again, I'm repeating, we're scrappy little guys. We kind of buckled up $10,000 over 10 years ago to ship it to Amazon. We were very into the details. We figured out that, we need them to have some sort of policy in writing. We tested it. It worked. We scaled. We had bigger issues, bigger challenges. We solved it. Now we're solving it to to many, many other sellers, and it kind of took its own life. So really what happened eventually was that we cashed out of retails, right? Because we had 2 businesses. We had the retail business and also the Getira business. We decided that strategically, we cashed out of retail. We felt like we peaked, but with helping sellers worldwide, it's a big adventure that we're passionate about. So once we really cashed out from retail and we put all of our profits and our attention and focus and energy into just helping sellers worldwide, it made all the difference. And we became the largest organization in the world focused just on this mission. And our mission today is really to educate Amazon sellers all about it. So any of you who have never heard of the fact that you owe money, I'm going to very, very soon show you how to do it. So you can take care of business and take care of these issues and make money. So that's a guarantee. And also, if anybody needs our help, we're happy to do that as well and help you recover money that you never knew that you had. So that's kind of our mission, making sure that sellers get the maximum refunds and FBA refunds that they're eligible to get, whether on their own, because we teach them, educate them. And of course, if they need our help, they can use us. And yeah, this is kind of the journey that we're in the mission. And here's some kind of client testimonials. You can take snapshots. This is some of them, but I think there's a video here if you guys want to see. Let's tell me if you can hear this. Sean and Seth, let me know if you can see the volume.
Yoni, I can't hear your video there.
Got it. So let me just reshare the screen. I know what to do. I know how this works. I've been to this game before. So I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to share the sound. Hopefully my mother's not going to be like sending me messages on my laptop. I can't share the sound. I don't know if you can fix that for me or not. If it is not,
I think you have to upload it into Zoom prior, Yoni.
No, it's fine. Usually, no, you can do it. But I think because before we had the camera settings, now we have to do the sound settings. But it's okay. We can just read this. I'll read this out loud. Just in case, I'll mark it up. So no worries. It's not a long video. It's a couple of seconds. So let's go back to the film here. Let me start from the beginning. All right. This is Josh Hadley, 8-figure seller on Amazon, which means he does what, over 10 million, right? 8-figure seller. Been selling for over 5 years, right? Okay. They joined Gatita about 12 months ago. They recovered a lot of money. Nice. I think our first year of business was like over $40,000. So we love Gatita and continue to make us money. And the great thing, I don't have to think about it anymore. That's it. That's kind of so great friend, Josh Hadley. I don't know if you noticed me in the background kind of over there. I'll show you. This is me over there. We took this a few weeks ago in Orlando. So thank you, Sean, for coming over to our station and booth and doing these beautiful videos all around and getting testimonials. It's really kind of you. And all right, so let's move on, kind of fast forward into the next situation here. So, I spoke to you about, how I recover all these millions for myself and for these other sellers, but really the story is really about you guys. What's going on with you guys? And how much are you guys, or every individual seller here, is living potentially on the floor? So let's run the numbers real quick. It's kind of all rule of thumb, but it easily, highlights the potential. So you have kind of 4 types of sellers: new to Amazon, average, small business, SMB, or a little bit more experienced, or enterprise. All right. So here's your monthly revenue. You might be doing 1,000 a month, 10,000, 50,000, 250, fine. What's your annual revenue? 12,000, 120,000, 600,000, or 3 million. And like I said, the FBA discrepancy rate, meaning all these issues that happen in FBA to your inventory, units get lost, they get damaged, they get destroyed, they get overcharged with fees. It's a whole rumble jumble. We're going to touch more about that later, but it can equate to between 1 to 3% from your FBA revenue. So, if you're even only doing, call it small business, you're new to Amazon making 12,000 a year, 1 to 3% can be anywhere between $120 to $360. That's money. And on and on it goes. You're doing 120 a year, that's 1,200 to 3,600. Money becomes a bit more serious, right? If you're doing 600,000 a year, that's 6,000 to 18,000. That you can buy yourself a nice used car with this kind of money, right? And then when you're doing 3 million a year, it can range between 30,000 to 90,000, and on it goes. If you're recovering 80,000, that's already a nice Tesla or something like that. I haven't bought a car in a while, but I tend to lease. But money becomes serious. And this is only 3 million. If you're doing 30 million, if you're doing 40 million, on it goes. The problem scales with you if you don't address it, right? So keep that in mind. So anybody here that knows their own numbers, do the rule of thumb. If you never audited your account, you never did reimbursements, this is kind of potentially the money that you might be leaving on the table right now as we speak. So that has to kind of stop. So we're going to focus quickly on the problem we solve, and then I'm going to go really to teach you how to do it yourself. Okay. Kind of high level points, right? So FBA discrepancy can range between 1 to 3%. We discussed that. It's up to each Amazon seller to regularly audit their Seller Central account to locate these discrepancies and file claims with Amazon. In other words, this all happens to your account on Amazon, but Amazon expects you, the seller, to take action. It's not going to just happen from the skies. So the first thing is awareness and education, which we're doing right now, educating you about and making you discover this issue, but also understand the elements. So also there's time frames allowed. You can go up high level. You can go up to 18 months on all these issues, but after that, the eligibility to get refunds and reimbursements for these issues expire. So do not miss out. We're going to touch more about that very, very soon. And of course, when you open cases with Amazon, you got to make sure if they need more information, provide them with the needed documents. We're going to touch that also very soon. And of course, as you know, Amazon sellers grow, they add more ASINs, they expand internationally and become more and more sophisticated in their sales and marketing initiatives, right? Add advertising, become or marketing like post-purchase pro. You want to build a database, you want to build a following and constantly nourish them and touch them and bring that traffic back to Amazon so they purchase. So it's post marketing, post-purchase marketing, which is a big component now that's coming on top. So it's good that you guys are part of this community and this movement. So all these initiatives, really, they take time, they take resources. So sellers quickly become strapped for time. This is where Gatira can potentially, solve this issue and alleviate the pain. But now really it's time for you guys to kind of get something out of this so you can really do it yourself. So, sellers can manage their FBA reimbursements with an in-house associate or even a virtual assistant. Everybody has their own structure. Some people like to hire people in-house so they can see them every day at the office so they can have the cooler talk. Some people like to have virtual assistants all over the world. That's good. Whatever rocks your boat, rocks my boat. But having a dedicated resource, regularly check your Amazon Seller Central accounts to identify the FBA discrepancies and all the damages or the lost inventory that might lead to reimbursement can help you improve your bottom line, because all that money that would be flushed back into your business, you never expected it. So guess where it's going? To your profit line, to your profit margin. Is generating free cash flow. That free cash flow can help you a lot with many, many other things. I found that all these years, I'm 38 years old, that cash really helps people with many, many things. So for example, if you are a post-purchase pro member and it has its cost, hopefully we recover $1,000, use those $1,000 to pay for that. So you can really scale up your game on marketing, right? The post-purchase marketing. Or if you want to buy yourself a nice car, do that. Or if you need some money for PPC, money is really helpful for all these things. So here's how you can really do this in-house and do it yourself. And let's get started. I guess Sean or Seth, at this point, I would say that anybody kind of has questions on the chat and anything I should touch, or you want to keep rolling? What would you like to do?
So I've been trying to keep up. One question that we just might touch on, Yoni, is if Amazon owes you money, like when they lost your units, do they pay you the cost or do they pay you the retail value?
There we go. I like this crowd. Beautiful, beautiful question. And I want to highlight this right now because with the beautiful thing about all of this is that when Amazon pays you a reimbursement, they don't pay you cost. They pay you retail. So if you, the sellers, are not maximizing all the FBA refunds they're eligible to receive, you're losing on two things. First thing you're losing is your cost, right? The money that you invested into the product. And the second thing is the profit, right? And our mission really, Gatira, if you look deeper inside into this, our mission is to really take a double negative and turn it to a double positive, right? Because maximizing all your refunds, you get all your money back and all this profit. And all this profit comes with no PPC costs, no nothing. Right? Basically, they pay you as if you sold it on Amazon. So it's a really good question. I like that. You guys are sharp. So it's very impressive. Any other ones I should touch?
I think I got the rest of them, Yoni. If we miss any questions at the end, we'll touch them all.
You got it. Yeah. So Heather's asking about invoices, stuff like that. We're going to touch that very soon. So hang tight, Heather. Hopefully we'll catch that for you. Let's keep moving. All right. Here's a quick overview of the main things. There's many other things, but I want to keep it simple. I want to overwhelm you guys. And so we're going to touch a few of them. This is the FBA Recovery Overview and the timeframes allowed for each type of claims. And these are the main claims. Once again, there's more claims, but this is the basics of all basics. The FBA Inbound Shipments. When you ship your products to FBA, that's kind of the basics of all basics. And then you have 9 months to reconcile the shipments in the United States, but in EU or UK, you have about 6 months. So even less time. So if you're selling over there in those marketplaces, make sure you do this on timely manner. There's a bucket of 18 months for these types of issues. So keep in mind that once your units are inside Amazon's fulfillment centers, inside the centers, after they got received, that's when these units tend to get lost or damaged, right? They were there for like 4 or 5 months, whatever. All of a sudden, boom, it's not there anymore. It got lost or maybe it got damaged. Okay. And Amazon gives you a window to look back up to 18 months. Okay. Same thing for customer refund issues or removal orders. So these are the 18 months buckets. And then you have 3 months, 90 days only, to reconcile any discrepancies that are related to weight and dimension fees. So when you sell a product on Amazon, Amazon takes your unit from the bin, they package it in a box, and they ship it out. They call this a fulfillment fee or a pick and pack fee, and they charge you a fee for that based on the weight and dimension of the product. So the larger or heavier they think the product is, the more they're going to incorrectly charge you. If they're supposed to charge you $3 per unit, but instead of that, they have the wrong data, so they think they'll product is larger or heavier, so they might charge you $10 per unit. So they're overcharging you financially $7 per unit every time you sold a unit. You sold 1,000 units like that, $7,000 overpayment. You have 3 months to basically reconcile that and get the refunds. Of course, when you find this type of issue, you want to do 2 things. Fix the data, so going forward, you stop the bleeding. And then the 3 months that they overcharge you $7,000, you get those refunds. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's keep moving forward. Now we're gonna really start teaching you how to do it step by step on Sell Essential, and this is for the FBA Inbound Shipments. All right, so if you never heard of this before, pay close attention. Hopefully, they're gonna get the recording to this or not, I don't know, but if not, just pay close attention. And if you and some of you know all about this, it's going to be very beneficial to get refreshments on this, because I see there was a few questions related to this. So just visit Amazon Sell Essential, go to inventory, go to manage FBA shipments, and scroll down to see the shipments that might have an issue or discrepancy. And how do you see it? Typically, you focus on this column here. You'll see that the top area tells you that these are the units expected and these are the units received. So in this case, right now for the shipment, you'll see that 10 units were expected, 10 units were received, kind of everything looks good, right? So you keep on scrolling until you see something like this. Boom, needs attention. What happened? Units expected 216, but units received only 0. Status of the shipment closed, meaning they receive everything, and really they received nothing, and the status is closed. So all you got to do, click on this blue area here. It will take you inside the shipment. Inside the shipment, you'll see the product information and stuff like that. But over here in this area, you'll see that there's a discrepancy minus 216. So you see that there's a drop down menu. You could what you want to do is research missing units. That's kind of the first step you take. All right. And then when you do that, they might ask you, not necessarily, but they might ask you for 2 of these types of documents. The first one is a POD, proof of delivery. The second one is a POP, proof of purchase. I think Heather was touching about that. All right. That they all constantly ask for invoices, stuff like that. So let's talk about, these POD, POPs. Let's talk Amazonian. This is what I call it. This is taken from Amazon. It's written in English, but this is Amazonian English. So I'm going to try to, simplify it all for you guys. Just you guys are aware that if you want to really dive into this data within the Sell Essential, you can scan this 2D barcode and it will take you to Sell Essential so you can learn more. But let's break this down. I'm going to start with the POD and then I'm going to move on to POP. So POD is proof of delivery. So what happened here? 206 units are missing. You want Amazon to investigate. So they might ask you, not necessarily, but they might ask you, oh, you know what? Show me that it really got delivered. Show me the document or proof of delivery that the units really got delivered. All right, so this is what they tell you in Amazonian. I'll read it. They don't translate it to real English. Proof of delivery for LTL, which is less than truckload, or FTL, full truckload shipments, a bill of lading showing the number of boxes in the shipment and the total weight when it was picked up by the carrier. The document must be stamped by Amazon confirming that the shipment was received and signed for at the fulfillment center. Your carrier should have a copy of this document. This information helps verify that the entire shipment was picked up and shipped as expected. So in short, a proof of delivery is a stamped bill of lading, a stamped BOL, that shows, yeah, Amazon, received it. This, so in order for Amazon to research the missing units and investigate, they might ask you for this. We see that 80% of our sellers and our users of Getira, they don't ask them for these documents. And the reason being because they use Amazon's Sell Essential platform to buy shipping. In other words, it's called partner carrier. If you're using Amazon partner carrier, they have the tracking ID. They know it got delivered. They're not going to ask you. If you're buying your shipping or transportation into FBA outside of Amazon Sell Essential, this is called non-partner carrier. That's when they're going to ask you. So, if you ever want to kind of avoid this need to give him documents, a proof of delivery documents, consider using Amazon's partner carrier. They might pay a little bit more, but it'll be saving you a lot of time getting all your refunds. Okay, reimbursements if anything happens. Keep that in mind. All right, so POP, proof of purchase. This is a grand moment for Heather. So here, I'm not even going to read it for you. It's an Amazonian. I'm going to keep it simple. Proof of purchase, you have 2 options. The first option is an invoice from your supplier. Okay, but listen to this carefully. If you're a private label seller with brand registry, you do not have to give Amazon an invoice at all. You don't have to disclose your supplier. Instead of an invoice, you can provide them with a packing slip, a simple packing slip that says your company information, shipment information, the fact that you shipped it and you sign off on it with your name, boom, you're done. Once again, proof of purchase. If you're a brand registry seller or you're a private label brand registry, you do not need to disclose your suppliers and get an invoice or scramble for invoices. You just give them a packing slip. And if this is too much scrambling for you, just keep in mind that with Getira, if you use our platform, we have a free tool that you can use that generates these packing slips like that. So a few clicks, you get all the documents you need with these packing slips. You don't have to go scramble for invoices and all these PDF files. In our system, it's baked in. We have a patent on it. A few clicks, boom, it generates a packing slip for each shipment that you need. Okay, so keep that in mind. Questions here, Sean or Seth? We're good? Okay,
Hey,
so hopefully,
Yoni, we have several questions here, but I don't want to interrupt your flow.
that's okay. Let's pick those up. No worries.
Okay.
I got this. Let's pick those up. I hope this also answers Heather's question about the invoices. So if Heather, you're a private label seller, instead of invoices, you can give a packing slip. If you're a Getito user, just make sure to use DocMaster. It will generate for you very, very quickly. Go ahead. What's the question?
Here we go. So if you want the questions now, let's see here. Andrew says sometimes when Amazon issues a customer refund, it says missed fulfillment promise. Is this a reimbursable activity? I never agreed to 30 minutes or, whatever the stipulation is.
Yeah. So here's the situation. Unfortunately, not. So basically, if I want to kind of explain the question, if I understand it correctly, a consumer ordered your product on Amazon and Amazon fulfilled through FBA, and it didn't arrive on time. To make it simple, the consumer will eventually send that product back, so it's gonna get restocked. So you didn't really lose any money on the unit level, because if they don't send it back and the unit never really gets restocked, Amazon will give you the reimbursement. You're good. Don't worry about that. But so really, what you're missing out on is the fees you paid for fulfillment, right? The pick and pack fees, a few dollars they charge you. Unfortunately, it's not included in the FBA reimbursement policy. This is one of those pain points that really Amazon does not cover, and it's unfortunate, but you got to take the good and the bad. The fact that you have FBA, it raises all the consumer confidence, and it's very convenient for the consumer. That's why Amazon is so powerful for the entrepreneurs. So this is one of those pain points where it's not eligible, but it's a fulfillment fee. So that's what it is. It's cost of doing business. It's something like returns or refunds, by the way. A customer refunds, they get a refund and a unit gets restocked, you're actually paying a refund restocking fee on FBA. So that's why when you, in general practice, you want to stick to products that sell well, have minimal amounts of returns. And how do you minimize them? You over communicate on the listing level, on enhanced brand content level, on creating, content and your marketing. So they really understand what they're buying, what they're getting, how does it all work. So they don't get confused. So they don't have to send them back, and it fits them perfectly. If you over communicate and they really know what they're getting, it's going to minimize your refunds tremendously. So keep that in mind as a general strategy, because refunds are very, very painful for any retailer, even Macy's, even Walmart, even Amazon sellers. So that's kind of a general thing. All right, what's the next one?
So the next one is from Tyron. He says, I have some inventory sent back to me from no sales, and it was damaged on delivery. After I made a claim to Amazon, they only paid me 1/3 of the sale value of my product. I asked them to reimburse me the retail value, but they wouldn't. Is there anything I can do?
Good point. So it depends on the status of these units. If these units were new and they're sellable condition, you need to get full value. If they were in basically unsellable condition, in other words, they're kind of defective or whatever, it's not eligible for full reimbursement. Great question. So he needs to do the dichotomy. So if it's really where it's sellable, so he's good to go, fight it, and you get the full recovery. If they're not sellable, you got everything you can get, so he's in good shape. Just take and try to sell in other marketplaces, by the way. If it's really not sellable, try to sell on eBay, flea market. You might make more money than you expected in the first place. So he's saying it's sellable, Tyron. So yeah, reach out and say, hey, as per your policy, this is a sellable unit. It needs to get full value. So try this out. And if you keep having issues, feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to discuss further and help. Andrew's asking about, not to put me on the spot, it's all good. If you, so basically using other tools to get your refunds. We have actually a slide for that. So I'm going to jumpstart the gun a little bit on that. If you're using your own tools or other tools, your own team to get all these refunds, it's great. We encourage that. We Getito encourage you to sell to get the maximum reimbursements you're eligible to receive any way you can, right? There's no conflict. Why? Because anything that you're missing out on, we're going to be able to back you up and get you those refunds. And only if we're successful getting you those refunds, only then we get rewarded. So it's a win-win. Once again, you do everything you can do. Let's say you got yourself $5,000, but you actually owe $20,000. So that $15,000 you're not getting for whatever reason, we'll back you up. We'll get that for you. Or even if it's $1, doesn't matter what it is. This is part of our mission to making sure you get the maximum. We'll teach you. We recommend you to use any other tools that you want on your own team. And then that delta that you can never reach because it's sophisticated, it's complex, we'll get it for you. And only if we get it right, we bread. So it's kind of the partnership we have there. All right. So POP, POD, you guys are professionals. You know the difference. Sorry, before I continue, anything else I should shoot, or we're good to go, Seth?
One question from Hamza here. We have, how can I make sure whether a shipment is eligible for reimbursement or not? Is there a time limit to apply for the reimbursement?
Any units you ship to FBA, okay, they're eligible for reimbursement if any of the units got lost. As long, make sure you have all your ducks in a row in terms of document. We just went over that. And in the United States, we had the slide earlier, you have 9 months, and in EU or UK, you have 6 months to reconcile that. So the moment it got delivered, right, that's when the clock is ticking. Okay, keep that in mind. I know the missing units into inventory. There's other way to look for it. Yeah, there is. We're gonna have a slide about that. It's gonna show you all the other types of issues. You can also find this on our website. High level is over kind of 30 things, wacky things. I touched the main ones because I don't want to overwhelm. We'll get to that. Anything else, Seth?
All good, Yoni. Go ahead.
Let's keep rolling. Okay, guys. So the first kind of layer was the shipments. Now we're gonna get to the second type. This is where things become a bit more sophisticated. So this is giving you too much of a headache and you're getting dizzy. It's okay. There's solutions out there that help with all these refunds. We happen to be one of them. So feel free to reach out. But let's see what we got. So this is how you reconcile all the lost and damaged units. And you go back 18 months because claim window, Amazon says you must submit your claim no later than 18 months for all these lost and damaged units inside Amazon Fulfillment Center. Once again, after they got received. So before you submit the claims, it used to be in the past, right? This is because recently, a few weeks ago, Amazon changed the game again. So you see, you had to kind of download 2 types of reports. Now these 2 types of reports got consolidated into 1 report. If you want to learn more about it on Sell Central, you can scan this code, you'll see it. So these 2 reports got consolidated to this report. It's called Inventory Ledger Report, and it got released January 31st, which is about 23 days ago, because we're in February 23rd. Okay, so this is kind of the brand new activity. So in order to reconcile all the lost and damaged units, you go to Amazon Seller Central, you go to reports, fulfillment reports, and on the left-hand side, you'll see this inventory ledger report. It's all brand new and fresh from the car lot, right? Full of the wrappers, the nylon wrappers. So you open that report. In that report, you'll see a transaction ID. All right, you have a column of that. And then you have also an FBA FSQ column. So for transaction ID, you just copy paste with this tool, Amazon. So scan this, you'll get it to Amazon Seller Central. Amazon created a tool for you to pretty much copy paste the transaction IDs or the FSQs, depends on the issue, to see if you're eligible for a claim. Okay, so you take this transaction ID, you copy paste it in, and it will tell you if you're eligible to open a claim, not to get the refunds, just open the claim regarding damaged units. Okay, so for damaged units, they need the transaction ID from the ledger report. Okay, it used to be 2 reports, you have to kind of flow it all in. Now it's 1 report, it's a bit easier. And then on the same report, if you enter the FSQ, you copy paste it in, it will tell you if the unit is eligible to open a case for a lost unit. Because once again, I want to repeat, this type of discrepancies, lost and damaged units, they happen within the warehouse, also between the warehouses, because sometimes Amazon might shift your products from Kentucky to California, from California to Nevada, right? They shift your products all around. Units get lost or damaged. That's how logistics works. Also from the fulfillment centers to the consumers when the orders come in. From the consumers back to you guys, right? Well, with all the refunds. From the fulfillment centers to you guys with all the removal orders, all these units get lost or damaged. That's how you kind of reconcile that, and you can go back up to 18 months. So, by the way, so when you download this report, inventory ledger report, make sure you do the cutoff time 18 months back. You don't want to do 30 days, 60 days, go as much as you can, which is 18 months. So get 18 months, grab all the data and copy paste it in. If you can't do it yourself, get a VA. Can't get a VA, get some help. We're happy to help. All right. So, but this is money in the bag. You always find refunds. Okay. So before I continue, any other pressing issue?
I think you already touched on all of them. Go ahead.
Okay. Very good. All right. So just high level, I touched kind of 2 elements. Now I want to show you a slide of like more things that can happen, but that's why I don't want to overwhelm. So if you ever wonder why do you need help with auditing FBA, this is kind of more things we look into. So the idea really is to really take the pain out of you guys and all the suffering and tears, and just put the money back in your hands. And only if we're successful, only then we charge a fee. Because just like that, there's no subscription fee, there's no commitment. You can cancel at any time. So we only charge a fee based on recovery. So let's say you connect to Getito and we get you $100. We're going to charge you a 25% fee, which will be $25. So the first 30 days, we got you $100. We charge you $25. Then the next 30 days, we get you $0. You pay $0. So it's very convenient. All right. And also, if you do your own thing, keep doing it. Whatever that you're missing out on, we'll cover that in. All right. So, and this is all kind of the things we look into. All right. So, a bit more about Gatira. Just a few points to say here. We're the global leader in Amazon FBA auditing and reimbursements. And the reason is because we operate on a global level, which means if you're selling on Amazon US, Canada, Mexico, EU, UK, we got you covered. We are an award-winning company. We won the Gold Award from the American Business Awards. We have a dedicated team of claims specialists that are a big part of our team today, actually. They're former Amazon employees who used to work in Amazon's reimbursement departments. So we know what we're looking for. We know how to present the issues. We know how to manage all the back and forth and stay compliant throughout the whole process. Okay. We actually track and monitor the recovery rate of our claims. Right now it's over 90%, which means for every 10 cases that we open, on average, more than 9 cases will get reimbursed. We take a lot of pride in hosting many seller events, right? So if you're wondering what's the next event, is Gatira, you can just visit gatira.com/events. You'll find us doing online events, but also physical events. Next week, we're going to be in ASD in Las Vegas, Market Week. All right. So if you're around that area, come visit our booth. We're going to be in the Prosper Show in Las Vegas in 2 or 3 weeks. We're probably going to see you guys. Sean is going to have his beautiful studio within our booth. So come visit us as well. If you're coming to Las Vegas or the Prosper Show, we'll be happy to make some videos and content with you in the studio. It's pretty cool. And we like I mentioned earlier, we like to make our solutions affordable for all sellers at any stage. You might be a newbie just starting, or you might be generating hundreds of millions of dollars. It's free to join Gatira, and it's free to stay with Gatira. We only charge a fee based on recovery, based on performance. So it's very comfortable. And also, I would like to mention that we're an authorized solution provided by Amazon. That's very important. And why? Because Amazon, we work in partnership with Amazon. It kind of means we have 2 commitments. We have a commitment, first of all, to you guys, the sellers, but also a commitment to Amazon to make sure that we're terms of service compliant, data security, private policy. We have to perform on the highest level. So in other words, we're just like Amazon sellers, but on the solution providing side. And we all know how Amazon, what kind of standards Amazon demands from everybody. So I see also had this question, how often the audits are done? Daily. Every day that goes by, we audit tens of billions of dollars of FBA transactions for our clients. So it's real-time auditing. This way, if you owe money, it gets back to you as soon as possible instead of waiting for it, or even worse, losing it. Because we said, Heather, if you don't get your refunds, you lose your money, your cost of goods, but also the profit. So keep that in mind. So we run real-time daily auditing, and we kind of never go to sleep in a way, especially our technology. So that's a little bit of more. All right. So also we do have 2 podcast shows. One of them is Selenomics. It's run by Rob Stanley, our chief evangelist. By the way, Seth and Sean, he got upgraded his title. He used to be a CMO, chief marketing officer. Now he's the chief evangelist officer and the money man.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. And also we have Prime Talk. Okay, Prime Talk is the show that I actually host, and this is my Lisa. She's my co-host. And I do recommend you to highly check out all the guests we had on the show. They're leaders from the e-commerce industry, including your beloved Sean and Seth. Okay, we have a special episode that we did with them. Pretty much document their journey into e-commerce, their life's journey into e-commerce. Fascinating, amazing, inspiring. Go check it out. One of my favorite episodes because you guys are so unique, and they came in a nice package of 2. I usually interview 1 at a time, but in this case, I did 2 at a time. It was kind of the first and only time I think I ever did that, which was pretty remarkable and cool. So I really distinctly remember it. All right, so here's some kind of a few points about the Gatira option and a few other options. I'll say this up front: all the other options are good, right? I'm just kind of highlighting kind of a few differences for your attention. All right, so whatever you choose is fine by us. But now that you know kind of how to do a few things, you get your own money. That's good. That's value. There's more and more. I don't want to overwhelm, but this is kind of a more introductory so you guys understand what's going on. And now I got too dizzy. But here's the points: we're a highly specialized service. Okay. Other option might be not specialized. It might be an upsell feature. Some other companies do all these things. They kind of also do auditing and reimbursement, which is cool, but they're not specialists. So in other words, if this was like the medical world, you have the general doctors, you go and visit, it's all good. We're like a brain surgeon. So of course, when you have a brain issue, your general doctor, it's not going to be the preferred doctor to operate on your brain. What you want to do is go to a brain doctor, or if you have a heart condition, you go to a cardiologist. In this case, we have Sean with us. He went to a sinus doctor. He doesn't go to a general doctor. He flew all the way to Florida to a sinus doctor. Why? Specialization. So we're a highly specialized service and solution. We have a team of ex-Amazonians. Okay. Other providers, it might be just using standard virtual assistants, which is all good and just highlighting the difference. We look over 30 kinds of discrepancies, which are these ones that I kind of mentioned. All right. Other providers might be just kind of, handling the simple stuff, the low hanging fruit, right? We have real-time daily audits as per Heather's questions. Other audits might run periodically. They might do every 3 months, every 6 months. So it's kind of more slow motion. In other words, it's Getito's like a Ferrari, and other providers are like, like a little mule, which is okay, just slower. Okay, we have international coverage. Some other providers might not have international coverage. So if you're selling in EU or UK, we can take care of you there. We're available in the Amazon Partner Network. We're partnered by Amazon. Others might not be partners or authorized by Amazon. They can be in a basement somewhere. You give them access to your account, stuff like that. They have no responsibilities to anybody, what to do with your data, stuff like that. Just highlighting that difference. And we are full case management. Okay. Others might be just a tool, and there's no case manager. They give you the data, you have to kind of copy paste it in. It's all good. But the difference here really is like, we're a dentist, for example, and the tools are just like a toothbrush. So we as a dentist recommend you to brush your teeth with the toothbrush. What if we give you one for free? Like right now, we gave you a toothbrush. We say, hey, here's how you do it. Go brush your teeth. But, the dentists come in, and we could do deep cleaning. We could do, root canals, extraction, whatever it is, to make sure your teeth are in top shape, at least on the FBA refund side. We're performance-based, okay? Some others might be like subscription model pricing, stuff like that. So high-level points about the Getito option and other options, just so you guys, so make sure that you guys are educated about it. But Heather has another question. Sorry for the question. Where do you access the other audits on the Getito dashboard? I may need to ask questions directly to Getito. I only see pick and pack inbound on the dashboard. Great. To make it simple, Heather, you can reach out afterwards, but I'll keep it simple. When you connect to Getito, we're going to automatically get you all the refunds that we can. Okay, without your involvement, so you don't have to deal with all this headache. There are 2 modules that we have in our dashboard, in our platform, that if you use them, we're going to get you even more refunds. So once again, we'll flush with all the refunds that we can. There are a few tools and modules in our system that if you use them, we're going to get you even more. Got it, Heather? So if you go to the inbound shipments and you give us the packing slips, boom, we're going to get you more refunds. If you go to the pick and pack, you give us your weight and dimensions, boom, we're going to get you more refunds. All the other refunds, we're already taking care of it, so you don't have to deal with it, because I'm sure you have better things to do. That's kind of the dynamic of how to use Getito. Do we want to take some more questions here, Seth, that you think are pressing?
Andrew says, once Getito is connected to our account, do they monitor everything passively, or do we have to perform manual searches?
It's kind of almost the same question as Heather. So everything that we can do for you, so it's passive for you. You don't have to do anything. We'll do it. Don't worry about that. But if you go to the dashboard, there's 2 modules. If you use them, you'll get even more. That's kind of the thing. So we'll get you as much as we can without bothering you. But some things we need your data. There's no other way for us to get it. For example, if you shipped a shipment in and they're asking you for a packing slip, okay, we don't have it, but you can go to our system, generate it, and the moment we generate it, we have it. Boom, we file the case for you.
So Yoni, you're actually submitting and following and tracking and managing the cases.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We take it all the way home. Yeah. Until we take it all the way to the touchdown zone. Okay. Yeah. So Andrew's asking if I use another provider or tool, and I open all these cases and I fail to get the refunds, but I'm still eligible for it. Will Getito recover that? Yes. The answer is yes. You try your best. Whatever you failed on, for whatever reason, it's too complex, too much to explain, too much to work on, but you're eligible. Our technology will identify the eligibility, and we'll take care of that. We live in the mathematics, just to make it more drilled in. We look for -1. We find a -1. That -1 needs to be a 0. It can only be a 0 if they kind of found the inventory, for example, if it got missing, or if they provide you with the reimbursement. So if you did all this work and all these ones that you presented to them, you're not able to get them to 0 for whatever reason, we're going to still see them as -1. We're going to open the case, take care of it until it becomes a 0, hopefully in the form of a reimbursement. So hopefully that helps Andrew's question there. Any other pressing one? Seth, any other pressing ones?
I think you're all good. I think you're caught up, Yoni. Go ahead.
All right, very good. All right, so here I want to touch quickly on a case study that kind of show you the layers of positive impacts of maximizing and getting all your refunds and your reimbursements. So let's check this out. We have a $18 million seller selling $18 million a year. They sold about 300,000 units on FBA, right? 9,000 units got affected with all the FBA discrepancies. Units got lost, damaged, destroyed, disappeared, disposed, overcharged with fees, which is a 2.8% discrepancy rate. Remember how we said between 1 to 3%? In this case, it's about 2.8%. All right. We Getira gotten back $151,000 in refunds and FBA reimbursements, which contributed to the bottom line, almost 11%. And why? Because before Getira, the profit was 1.3 million. We added 151,000. Now it's 1.5 million. Boom. It jumped almost 11%. So kind of, auditing and getting, a few percentage of the discrepancies, getting that back really affects the bottom line and it gives us a nice lift. So that's kind of the first layer of impact. Now check this out. There's 2 more layers I want to mention here. The second layer is if you're selling your Amazon business. If you are selling your Amazon business, every dollar that you add to your profit or your EBITDA will allow you to sell your business for more money. Why? Because when you sell your Amazon business, they're buying your profit and they're giving you a multiple of 3, 4, 5. So in this case, let's say you got 5x multiple for your business. So you added $151,000 to your EBITDA, and you time it by 5, you're going to get $750,000 on your way out when you're selling Amazon business. That's the second layer of positive impact because you maximize all your refunds, right? The last one, the third one is if you're buying an Amazon business. Imagine that you buy an Amazon business and the seller that sold you the business failed to go back 18 months and get all the refunds that they're eligible to get. So you did that. You got the business, you bought it, you went back 18 months and you recovered $151,000 that belonged to the other seller, but they already sold it to you. So you own the business, you own that value. So boom, you have a better ROI, better return on investment. So this is kind of the sophistication, the financial sophistication of knowing and being educated about all your opportunity within Amazon to maximize your business, making more profit. Now you're aware of it. So play the right game. Always make sure to be at the right side of the coin. But in general, high level, if you ever think about making an exit, selling a business, stuff like that, I do recommend that you kind of consult a specialist. In this case, I recommend North Bank Group. You can just scan this or visit getira.com/MBG. And they're really nice guys. They're in the industry for a long time. They specialize in the Amazon realm. What they're really going to help you with is realizing what's working in your Amazon business, what's moving the needle. So if you recognize that, you can have a really good business in general for many years. And if you have a really good business for many years, guess what? Other people want to buy it. So if you ever want to make an exit, boom, you'll be ready to make an exit and you're going to be shelf ready. So this is kind of the case study, the sophistication. And if you want to kind of steer up your business towards being successful for many years, consult a specialist, highly recommend it. So for your consideration. Okay. Let me actually go back. We're getting to the offer stage. Any other questions pressing or should I plow forward to the offer?
Go ahead. I think you're all good.
We're good. Okay. So now that we, realize you know what to do, you know how to make some money, you understand the problem, you understand what we also cover and the financial impacts, boom. This is the offer that we kind of prepare for you guys. So for a PPP Purchase Pro PPP members, we typically have $2,000, a special offer of $2,000, which means the first $2,000 that we get for you in FBA refunds and reimbursements will be free. We don't charge you a penny, just so you can try us out. And after $2,000, if you want to leave, you can leave. And if you want to stay, you can stay. Whatever you want to do, it's cool by us. It's all good. We're here to help. Okay, so typically all you got to do is you can scan this code or just visit getira.com/PPP2K. So most of you, if not all of you, already know about this offer. But plot twist. Wait, there's more, right? So any of you here watching this, participating in this, if you sign up in the next 24 hours, so the clock is right now, it's 2 p.m. Eastern. By tomorrow, Friday, February 24th, 2 p.m., that's when we shut it down. Okay, instead of getting $2,000, you're going to get a $500 bonus. So you're going to get $2,500 of free refunds from Getira. So the first $2,500 that we recover for you will be free. We're not going to charge you a penny. Okay, and you also get this. I don't know, Seth, if you want to throw this out there, tell them what they're getting here.
Yeah. So last year, guys, we put together a 5-week workshop where we went through every major section of the business, like product selection, like traffic, like sourcing, right? So for every week, for 5 weeks in a row, we got together and we presented on the best topics for this in our business and what we did. But then we also invited guest speakers from around the industry to chime in. So like somebody, we brought in multiple guest speakers to talk about sourcing, and we brought in multiple guest speakers to talk about product selection. Basically, we charge $2,000 to be a part of that live, but we're going to give you access to that for free just because we love Yoni and we love the partnership that we have. So we want to support this.
Thank you so much. Very generous. I see that. Yeah, so I see that we have some Getita users here. So I'll tell you this much: Getita users, your family, we love you. You also PPP members, and that's family, we love you. So we're gonna match it. If you're already using Getita and you're using PPP, just reach out with your, via email. I'm gonna give you my email in a minute. Just make sure you give me your Getita user email so I can find your account and fill your accounts with credits. Okay, so we'll make sure that we're going to level the playing field. Everybody in the PPP family should, getting the value. You're investing in your business, investing in PPC, making sure that you really perfect your marketing game on the post-purchase marketing. So we'll take care of you. So hopefully it's helpful for Debbie saying that, and Paul and everybody else using Getita. Reach out. We'll take care of you. No problem. It's all love. And you get this 5-week workshop free. So boom, value all around. So hopefully that's helpful. So the ones of you that are not with Getita yet, you want to join us, just visit getita.com/PPP2K, or just scan this code. And this is my direct information. This is my direct email, yonim@getita.com. You can also scan this code or visit getita.com/yoni-info. You'll have info, more of my info. You have my phone number. You can have our YouTube channel, Facebook accounts, everything. So you can just follow us or whatever. Yeah. That's pretty
Well,
much
you
it.
asked for it now, Yoni. Now they're going to blow you up, man.
Oh, no.
Can you go back one screen? Let's show that URL again. This is what I want people to understand. What you're offering here, $2,500 of free reimbursements. This is real money. This is like, this is like change you found in your sofa that you forgot about. This is money that Amazon already owes us. Yoni and his team are going to collect it for us, and they don't charge you a penny. I love your offer, Yoni. Nothing to join, nothing to stay. If we don't collect, you don't pay. It's completely contingency. There's not a better offer out there that I'm aware of. I know you guys are always offering like $400
This is aggressive.
free.
This is as aggressive as it gets out there, especially with you throwing in the 5-week workshop. I mean, this is aggressive stuff. This is it's aggressive. I'm a little, it's tickling, but for family, you want to be very warm. So
Hey, we go out of our way to do the best we can for you guys at Getita. So I appreciate you putting this offer out there, because I haven't ever seen you offer anything better than this. Most of the time it's like $400. So really appreciate you. Hopefully we'll really move the needle for you. There's like 130 people live on the call right now. If you're selling on Amazon at any capacity, this costs you nothing. It's never going to cost you anything. Yoni will never ask for your credit card number. He won't even ask for a phone number, and he's given his own. All you have to do is go to getita.com/PPP2K, and you get that $2,500 that I promised you for joining the webinar. Only if you're selling on Amazon. If you're not, then I don't even know why you're on this call. But this is just remarkable, Yoni. Thank you so much, my friend.
You got it. My pleasure. As per Greg, he has a question there. Yeah. If you want to exclude missing inbound, yes. So let me highlight this. So just keep it in mind, guys, that we're very customizable. So if there's anything that you guys are doing, you want to keep doing, you don't want us to touch, not a problem. We're here to help. So you keep doing what you're doing, whatever you want us to touch and recover, we can do that as well. So hopefully that helps you, Greg, with that question. Yeah.
So Yoni, I just want to make a point for anybody who wants the 5-week workshop that went ahead and took advantage of this offer. Shoot us an email, cs@postpurchasepro.com, and we'll get that access to you. Like we said, we sold that for $2,000 last year. You can't get that anywhere else. And we're giving it to you for free just because we really want to support this offer, because we believe in what you guys are doing, Yoni.
You got it. Thank you so much. And are we gonna share the slides so they can kind of the at least on the
yeah, if you're comfortable with it, Yoni. Several people have asked for the slides. Several people have asked for the recording. They found tremendous value in what you walk through. So I'd love to do it.
You got it. Yeah, I'll be happy. Yeah, the idea is that can really push this forward into their team so they can really see step by step what to do and how to do. There's the information there, and there's the information how to get to Amazon to learn more there. So the threads are available. Yeah, I see people asking
there was
about
a question I wanted to
read.
read, or a comment that I wanted to read to you. One second, Yoni. It's from Karen. She said she's going to worship the ground that you walk on. So we're getting a little biblical here. One second.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. We have Heather. Seems like she's a fan of the analogies. We have a few of them. I'm going to start from the last one, actually, because this is a nice addition by Sean. Change found in your sofa. She liked that one. She liked the toothbrush versus the dentist, and then the Ferrari versus the mule. I forgot about those, but yeah, thank you for reminding me. It's pretty good. I'm yet to receive so check out how there's other comments here. Let's see.
Hey, Hamza, yeah, so shoot us an email at cs@postpurchasepro.com. All of those payments were sent out, so I'm surprised you haven't gotten it. We sent it to your PayPal or your Venmo from the last webinar. And then let me see where Karen's she says, my issue is that I deal with large shipments with hundreds of different items going on at the same time. So when we lose one and ask when they lose one and ask for invoices, it's weeks of work researching and finding the invoices for each of the hundreds of different items, scan and upload. It's a nightmare. So she's hoping that you're going to be able to help her with that, Yoni.
Who is this again?
This is Karen.
Karen, and hold on. Karen, are you a private? You have brand registry? You could put on the chat yes or no. Then also there was access to workshop. You mentioned that. Andrew Konski. So just email me, shoot me an email. My email was on the slides, but we can drop it here. I'll drop my email again if you can. Oh, she's not. So at least okay. So at least with Getita on the dashboard, we'll give you with a snap right away the data on the shipments that have the issue. Okay, and what's the value? So you can really prioritize the shipments from the top value to the least value. So you or your team spend your time, correctly and prioritize the big money. So instead of going to Sell Essential and picking up every shipment and trying to figure out what's going on in the Getita platform and on their inbound shipments, it will show you all the shipments that have an issue, what's the value of it. You'll be able to kind of download all that information, boom, get to work. So at least it will save you a tremendous amount of labor, and you'll be able to focus on the value from top to bottom. At least that. Yeah, but as a side note, if you can ever get brand registry on these ASINs that you're selling, or at least some of them, you won't have to give invoices. You could just use a packing slip and use our tool within the system.
Hey, Yoni, before we get out of here, I'm going to actually paste in the link for everybody, because earlier when I tried to do it, it didn't work right. So I'm going to paste it in here. That way everybody has it. So there you go, guys. That's the special link that Yoni had on a slide earlier. So you can go ahead and click that and then get your free account signed up. Take advantage of the free 2000. Email Yoni for the extra 500. Yoni's so gracious. And I dropped your email in the chat box as well. So Yoni, I super appreciate you coming on and sharing all this stuff today. It was super educational. A lot of people were commenting on it. They want to watch the replay because they want to see the steps that you were outlining there. So that's great stuff. Any parting words, Yoni, before we jump out of here?
That's it. And I did another event. Actually, this is my last event for this week. I did one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This was really fun because
it's a pretty good day. That's a pretty good week.
Yeah, pretty intensive week. So it's but what was interesting that we discovered in one of the events that we did that I'll throw this out there. So what was the main reason for success for Amazon sellers? We had like 8 answers. I'm gonna spit a few, and you guys can use the chat to see which reason you think is the reason that most Amazon sellers are successful. Is it because of the tools you use? Is it because of the money you have? Is it because the marketing abilities that you have? Is it because the motivation you have? Is it because logistics prowess you have? Which one do you think is the answer here?
So do I have to pick out of those, Yoni? Is that what you're?
Yeah, I'm throwing in 5. Let me actually try to pull it up. So I'll give you the actual thing, and we'll stop. We'll throw this shipment question in, see what the answers are, and if you get them all correctly, this is a killer of a crowd. But if not, at least it will be a much more educated crowd and hopefully inspired crowd. So let me just pull that question right up so we get this correctly with no detail missed. I'm gonna ask this again. I'm gonna ask this slowly, but give me a moment. It's almost there. Give me a second. All right, it's coming.
Hey, Yoni, Gwen says, I'm setting up the account right now. Why do I have to enter a credit or a debit card?
Once again, we're not going to charge anything. It's just to activate the account. That's it. And if we ever recover money, let's say the first 30 days we recover $0, you pay $0. And the next 30 days we get you $100, we charge you the $25 fee. And then the next 30 days we get you $0, you pay $0. So it's basically like entering a bar, and you open a tab. If you drink, you pay. If you don't drink, you don't pay. But you still, to sit into the bar, you have to kind of provide that to open the tab. That's kind of how it works. But of course, nothing will be charged. There's no fees. No worries about that. Let me pull up the question one moment. I'm almost there. Where are you, Mr. Question? There it is. Actually, I'm going to present it to you. I can probably present the screen and see what you guys think and make it a bit more fun for you guys. Give me a second. I'm gonna hide the answers. And most people did.
Mohammed says this was very informative. Thank you. So
You got it,
great
you got it.
job.
Okay, so check out this question, guys. This is a trivia question that I presented yesterday. Oh, wow. Let me just see this. Okay. What is the top leading factor for success selling on Amazon, guys? Is it committing enough time to your business? Is it having enough funding for the business? Is it having motivation to make money? Is it having the necessary tools and knowledge? Is it having enough passion or motivation? Is it conducting market research? Is it understanding Amazon's TOS? Is it having a mentor instructor? So you just drop your answers into the chat, see where you guys are at. Once again, what is the top leading factor for success selling on Amazon? I think this is very, very educational. Andrew is saying all above. That's kind of true, but we don't have that option in the answers because one answer here stands above them all. So let's see what you guys think, because I think this is kind of a very good to kind of close out my week full of engagement with sellers and everything. The answers are coming in, so I'm going to keep actually sharing the screen so they can see the answers and write it down if they want. And you tell me what kind of rule of thumb, what do you make of it? Which one is the most popular answer here?
right.
Let me actually join you with this and looking at the answers. So once again, what is the top leading factor for success selling on Amazon? I don't with tools and knowledge.
Tools and knowledge seems like the highest one, but I was going to say persistence, Yoni. I don't know the answer to this.
Which one is that? Where's that persistent thing?
Oh, I don't see persistence. That was just the first thing that popped into my head. I don't know if it would be like motivation or
you're touching it. You're touching it. And should I bring the answer out?
I think we got to bust it out, Yoni. What is it?
Okay. It's having enough passion and motivation. That's it. This is the top leading factor for success selling on Amazon. If you're passionate enough about it, if you're motivated enough about it, that's the top of the pyramid. It encompasses everything. It will make sure that you commit enough time to your business. It's you make sure that you get enough funding for your business. You have how to more motivation to make money. How will move you to having the make sure that you get the access, the necessary tools and knowledge. So one leading factor kind of covers it all. So with that note, just stay motivated, stay hungry, stay focused, and that's kind of what you're saying, Seth. You said that
Yep.
how'd you call that word?
Well, I said persistence, right? So persistence is you never give up. And that's what Andrew's saying. He agrees. It's the tenacity of never giving up. But I think it's driven by motivation and passion, right?
Yeah. Once you have the passion, you're unstoppable because when you have no option, you corner yourself into that. You're just going to find a way to break through because listen, I'm going to get biblical a little also, or actually more scientific. Business is economic warfare. It's a war zone. It's economic warfare. You shoot, they shoot, you take some, you lose some. So, you have to be very passionate about being a general and being, and motivated about finding this, the economical battlefield and have enough resources to have the best army and team and organization so you can cover as much ground as possible. And that's it. So if you have that philosophy in mind, you're going to be, you're going to stay motivated. You're going to be extremely successful. It's just a matter of time. There's no other way. So keep that in mind. That's kind of the final note and touch I wanted to give to this. It was a beautiful week. So thank God.
I love it.
Blessed. Yeah.
Yoni, well, you have a great weekend, man. It sounds like you've been putting in the work. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Go ahead and claim that $2,500 that Yoni's giving you for free. He's going to audit your audit. So there's no downside here. So thanks so much, Yoni, and looking forward to seeing everybody on the next ride. So thanks, Yoni. Have a good one.
Take care, everybody.